Start. 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond.
Once upon a time, the universe gave birth to a new galaxy. A unique galaxy. One with life, beauty, pain, and hope. But most importantly, this galaxy contained a concept that extended beyond space and time. A universal concept. This galaxy contained an idea called love.
When in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoy contented least. Yet in these thoughts, myself almost despising, haply I think on thee, and then my state, like to the lark at break of day arising from sullen earth, sings hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings.
It seems as though we all live in separate worlds. In that case, I'm hitchhiking through the galaxy. Won't you come with me? Hitchhike through this galaxy with me.
Arriving at our first stop, Constellation Orion's Belt, 1,344 light years from Earth. The myth of Orion identifies the sea god Poseidon as his father, and the great huntress Queen Euryale of the Amazons as his mother. Orion inherited her talent and became the greatest hunter in the world. Unfortunately for him, with an immense strength comes an immense ego, and he boasted that he could beat any animal on Earth. In response to his vanity, a single small scorpion stung him and killed him.
Bright star, would I were steadfast as thou art, not in lone splendour hung aloft the night, and watching with eternal lids apart like nature's patient, sleepless eremite, the moving waters at their priest-like task of pure ablution round earth's human shores, or gazing on the new soft fallen mask of snow upon the mountains and the moors. No, yet still steadfast, still unchangeable, pillowed upon my fair love's ripening breast, to feel forever its soft fall and swell, awake forever in a sweet unrest, still, still, to hear her tender taken breath, and so live ever, or else swoon to death.
We'll see new and old worlds, hear some odd dialects. Remember to bring your guide and babblefish, and if we are lost, we mustn't panic. We'd all love to be hitchhiking through the galaxy. So come on, hitchhike through the galaxy with me. Now arriving at the constellation Betelgeuse, around 650 light years away from Earth. Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse. Brilliant in my eyes. Is the pain so easily hidden? behind your light that never dies.
Oh dear Beetlejuice, brilliant Beetlejuice, who could comprehend the secrets that you keep to yourself? Do dead stars ever mend? Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, like an ember in the dark, shining vibrantly in the night sky. What happens now? The sky is overcast with a continuous cloud of texture close.
Cursed, cursed, cursed Creator! Why did I live? Why, in that instant, did I not extinguish the spark of existence which you had so wantonly bestowed? I know not. Fear had not yet taken possession of me. My feelings were those of rage and revenge. I could, with pleasure, have destroyed the cottage and its inhabitants, and have glutted myself with their shrieks and misery.
Heavy and wan, all whitened by the moon, which through that veil is indirectly seen, a dull contracted circle, yielding light so feebly spread that not a shadow falls, checkering the ground from rock, plant, tree, or tower.
When night came, I quitted my retreat and wandered to the wood.
At length a pleasant instantaneous gleam startles the pensive traveller while he treads his lonesome path.
And now, no longer restrained by the fear of discovery, I gave vent to my anguish in fearful howlings.
With unobserving eye bent earthward, he looks up.
I was like a wild beast that had broken the toils, destroying the objects that obstructed me, and ranging through the wood with a stag-like swiftness. Oh, what a miserable night I passed!
The clouds are split asunder, and above his head he sees the clear moon and the glory of the heavens.
The cold stars shone in mockery, and the bare trees waved their branches above me. Now and then, the sweet voice of a bird burst forth amidst the universal stillness.
Built round by those white clouds, those enormous clouds, still deepens its unfathomable depth.
All save I were at rest or in enjoyment. I, like the arch-fiend, bore a hell within me.
At length the vision closes, and the mind, not undisturbed by the delight it feels,
And finding myself unsympathized with, wished to tear up the trees, spread havoc and destruction around me, and then to have sat down and enjoyed the ruin.
which slowly settles into peaceful calm, is left to muse upon the solemn scene.
I had a dream, which was not all a dream. The bright sun was extinguished, and the stars did wander darkling in the eternal space.
There is no end in this big galaxy. Never stop impressing me with lots of magical things.
Rayless and pathless, and the icy earth swung blind and blackening in the moonless air.
Full of mystery that excites me, and the gravity holding me back from you.
Morn came and went, and came and brought no day. And men forgot their passions in the dread of this, their desolation. and all hearts were chilled into a selfish prayer for light.
And the gravity, holding me back from you.
And all was black.
You attract me. Like a black hole, you make me feel alive. Like the stars in the sky.
The world was void. The populous and the powerful was a lump. Seasonless, herbless, treeless, manless, lifeless. A lump of death, a chaos of hard clay. The waves were dead. The tides were in their grave. The moon, their mistress, had expired before. The winds were withered in the stagnant air, and the clouds perished. Darkness had no need of aid from them. She was the universe.
Then hate me when thou wilt, if ever now. Now, while the world is bent my deeds to cross, join with the spite of fortune, make me bow, and do not drop in for an after loss. Ah, do not. When my heart hath scaped this sorrow, come in the rearward of a conquered woe. Give not a windy night, a rainy morrow, to linger out a purposed overthrow. If thou wilt leave me, do not leave me last, when other petty griefs have done their spite, but in the onset come. So shall I taste at first the very worst of fortune's might, and other strains of woe, which now seem woe, compared with loss of thee, will not seem so.
He was unconscious of everything except his fear. He did not even know what he was afraid of. The fear itself possessed his whole mind, a formless, infinite misgiving. He did not lose consciousness, though he greatly wished that he might do so. Any change, death or sleep, or best of all, a waking which should show all this for a dream, would have been inexpressibly welcome.
Then where are we?
Standing out from Earth, about 85,000 miles.
You mean we're in space?
Ransom uttered the word with difficulty, as a frightened child speaks of ghosts, or a frightened man of cancer. Weston nodded.
What for? And what on earth have you kidnapped me for? And how have you done it?
For a moment, Weston seemed disposed to give no answer. Then, as if on a second thought, he sat down on the bed beside Ransom and spoke as follows.
We are on our way to Malacandra.
Do you mean a star called Malacandra?
Even you can hardly suppose we are going out of the solar system. Malacandra is much nearer than that. We shall make it in about 20 light days.
There isn't a planet called Malacandra.
I'm giving it its real name, not the name invented by terrestrial astronomers.
But surely this is nonsense. How the deuce did you find out its real name, as you call it?
From the inhabitants.
Now arriving at Malacandra, near the constellation Bellatrix. Bellatrix represents Orion's left shoulder. Although it appears only as the 22nd brightest star in our sky, in reality, it's a hot blue giant some 240 light years away.
Pick out your favourite star.
I like that one, I said.
That's Venus.
He said. He explained to me that reflective light was constant and stars twinkled because their light pulsed. I like it anyway, I said.
Ah, what the hell. It's Christmas. You can have a planet if you want.
And he gave me Venus. Now arriving at our final stop, the giant star Aldebaran, neighbour to planet Venus and only 65 light years away from Earth. Venus didn't have any moons or satellites or even a magnetic field, but it did have an atmosphere, sort of similar to Earth's, except it was super hot, about 500 degrees or more.
So, when the sun starts to burn out and the Earth turns cold, people might want to move to Venus to get warm. And they'll have to ask permission from your descendants first. You may not believe in magic, but don't you think it's strange the amount of matter in our universe has never slightly changed? That all which makes your body was once part of something more, and every breath you ever breathe has seen it all before.
There are countless scores of beauty in all the things that you despise. It could have once been a shooting star that now makes up your thighs, and atoms of forgotten life who've long since ceased to roam may now have the great honour to call your crooked smile their home.
You may not believe in magic, but I thought that you should know the makings of your heart were born 14 billion years ago. So the next time you feel lonely, when this world makes you feel small, just remember that it's part of you, and you're part of it all.
Once upon a time, the universe gave birth to a new galaxy. A unique galaxy. One with life, beauty, pain, and hope. But most importantly, this galaxy contained a concept that extended beyond space and time. A universal concept. This galaxy contained an idea called love.